Welcome to the program. This time we're going to do what I call a reverse horn head, of which I have an example here. Now, the beauty of this is that you can use a very small piece of horn. As you can see, the actual length from here down to here is quite small. And if you have a horn that's fairly meaty, fairly heavy, and maybe damaged on the front end and on the back end, and the middle section is only small, you can do this with it. And what we do is we actually shank the horn from the thin end. So what we've got is the thin end here and the thick end here. This gives us a big advantage if you want to carve a head. You can see that we've got far more material to work with. Okay, now we've filed off both the sides just to clean them up a bit, but if you actually turn the horn round and look at it from this angle, you can see that there is a high point there and it slopes down. Now, we don't want to start carving something that's very uneven in shape, so I'm going to just file off that around that corner there, people say. I'm going to do it from this side, and my pheasant's head and bring underneath there. I think you'll agree at this stage this piece of horn is starting to look a little bit more like a pheasant. However, the next thing we're going to need to do is to close the angle down, because this head here seems to lift up rather acutely and I want it to be a different angle, so I'm going to squeeze that down and bend it at this point. Now, if you look at it from the front and from the side, I think you'll agree that looks a bit more like a beak. What we'll do next is move on to this area here, which is where the bird breathes through. This is basically its nose. So let's just continue to clean that up for a moment. Okay, now let's have a look and see what we've got. I think the nose area, as you can see, looks a bit better. Right, now I've filed the handle section here fairly round now. It can be made better later, of course, because we'll be sanding it. Edge of the feathers first. As you can see, it's a very long job, so I'm going to settle down for the next 2 or 3 hours and complete the rest of this feathering, and then you can see it when it's finished. Right, now let's take it out of the vise and see what we've got. As you can see here, the back feathers aren't in a solid line all the way around. I personally feel that if you do make a hard line, it doesn't look quite so good, so I finish it. Now we also have some black areas, and you don't want it too strong here, just behind the eye. Right, let's get some red on there now. Now I think we've more or less got as much orange as we need on there, and what I'm going to do next is add just a touch of yellow with orange. So what I'm really doing is bringing the orange up in colour a fraction to a slightly lighter colour again. I think we've got just about enough on there, enough to give the beak a sheen, and it actually picks out that extra shine, picks up the green on those feathers there, and also the black lines that you can see around these back feathers. I think they stand out a bit more now, which is good. Well, that's it. We've finished the pheasant's head. I've had fun doing it. I hope you've learned something from watching, and if you've not done anything like this before, maybe it's encouraged you to have a go. I do hope so. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your stick making.